Do you want to try something different today? You'll have that option. Hi everyone, Cristin Som here, and we are continuing with our Ginger's Kitchen bench pillow. So we have 2 blocks done, that beautiful gingerbread house A, and also the very simple cookie testers block that you have an option of adding cookies or something fun in the little empty space if you prefer, totally optional. So today I'm a little bit concerned about this one, I'll be honest. So we're gonna work on the pinwheels, but I'm going to give you an option of something different. All right, so let's start by just going over what it takes for the pinwheels. All right, so the pinwheels, the large pinwheels, we're going to work on the large pinwheels. So you can see they're on page 10 of our book, and there's not very much to it. All right, but the pinwheels, they always are a stretch all on themselves. So some people are pros at pinwheels, and more power to you. I am not one of them. I find it difficult to get them lined up just right where you've got the points in the center exactly perfect. But I always tell you, don't go for perfection. Don't do it. Just progress over perfection. Do it your way. And my dog is shaking. So let's go over what we need for today. So like I said, it's on page 10. So I'm going to suggest that we do both pinwheels. It's totally up to you though. We only need one for right now, and we'll need one later. So it's kind of easier to just do both of them. But I'm not going to show you how to do them in one hooping. That's going to be a little bit different. If I ask you to do 2 blocks, I'll usually show you how to do it in one hooping, and I'm not going to do that today. So do them separate. Do one if you want. If you have extra time, do 2, and then you're ahead of the game. That's always a good thing, but totally optional. All right, so let's talk about the product. So the original product from years ago was the white on white houndstooth. All right, we are going to want 2 pieces. So 4 total. So 2 for the because we're going to make two pinwheel blocks. So 2 for now, or 4 if you're going to do both pinwheel blocks. So 2 pieces at 3.5 by 3.5. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. The white parts, at least, I would recommend, but up to you. I did it on, I like to stabilize my fabric so I don't get any puckering. So 2 or 4 pieces at 3.5 by 3.5. And don't forget, I'm going to give you a different option, so it might take away these also. So really lots of options here today. So for now, 2 pieces or 4 pieces, 3.5 by 3.5, the white. This is the white houndstooth. And like I said, this is the older fabric from our sponsor, Binded by Stitches. They gave us this wonderful substitution that is the white starburst. That's what I call them. She told me what they're called. I think it was sunburst, maybe. I don't remember now, sorry. But anyway, that's what we received from our sponsor as a substitution. So either one of these will work great, 3.5 by 3.5. All right. And then for the second fabric, it is the green with white dots. And this one is also the one that will come from our sponsor, Binded by Stitches. So green with white dots, 3.5 by 3.5. I did back mine with fusible stabilizer, but that's really optional on the pinwheel. So whatever helps you to get it just right for you, you do that. All right. So 3.5 by 3.5 on the green with white dots. All right, and then for our batting, we want 2 pieces or 1 piece, depending on how many pinwheels you're doing, that are 5 by 5. All right, 5 by 5 on your batting. And then on the quilting, whatever you want. All right, I'm going to suggest whatever you want, because I'm going to tell you about something different. So one thing is the winter, if you decide you want to go traditional with the pinwheel blocks, then you could do what I would do, what I like. There's a lot of options, but the winter too, the snowman, I think is really cute on the pinwheel blocks. So I do like something that goes around that center, because that center gets really full with all of the pinwheels going right to that center. So if you could find something that goes around it, that's even better. But snowman too is a good option as well, whatever works for you. All right, so That is for the batting and a suggestion on the quilting. Now I'm going to give you a whole different, I'm going to spin your head a little bit and get you thinking outside of the box. So Bridget Lowe, one of our followers in Cristin Creates, and I could be pronouncing that wrong. It could be Lou, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say Lowe, Bridget Lowe, sweetheart gal. So she sent me, she knows that I'm not a super big fan of the Pinwheels. And when I say I'm not a fan, I'm a fan of the Pinwheel blocks. All of the old style blocks, that the traditional blocks, I love them, but the Pinwheels I find difficult. So I shouldn't say that I'm not a fan of them, because I really love them. I just don't love how hard it is to get to the perfect points. But there's my dog again, sorry. So Bridget Lowe sent me a message and she goes, so I've been researching it for you and I found an in the hoop pinwheel. In the hoop pinwheel block. So Kimberbell told me years ago that they were going to make an in the hoop one, and I never saw it. Hopefully I didn't miss it, but she found one from Sweet Pea Designs. So if you don't know about Sweet Pea Designs, they're an Australian company, I believe. And they make beautiful things, lots of things. I have a quilt of theirs that I've been wanting to make that I haven't made yet. So Sweet Pea is a great company, and she found on their site, there's this, I think it was called Dear Allison quilt. And there's one of the blocks for that Dear Allison quilt is a pinwheel block, and it's made in the hoop, completely in the hoop. So that was pretty exciting. So I immediately bought it and tested it. And I made it. So I want to tell you though, I made it differently. So on the directions that comes with that Dear Allison pinwheel block, they only quilt the white parts. They don't quilt the green parts. They don't have you putting down fabrics on all of the different parts. They have you put down one big white fabric, and then you put the green fabrics on top, and then you trim those, and some they are flipped like a in the hoop piecing project. It is like that, but but you trim it. It's different. The directions are different. So if you're going to make the original traditional one, go for it. Absolutely. In fact, what I'll do is I will add a link under the video. I'll also add one here to a tutorial for the pinwheel blocks, because I'm not going to make the traditional one this time. So I'm not going to do a whole tutorial on it. So I'll point you to a different tutorial where I've done it. I've done it lots of times, and I give lots of tips on how to make it great. But this time I'm going to do this outside the box thinking one that Bridget suggested. So, but like I said, I changed mine up a bit. So kind of a lot actually. So the original one, like I said, you're going to put down one big, you follow the directions on it, and they're actually quite simple. You basically put down your batting. You put down your batting, and then you put down one big piece of white fabric. So probably like 5 by 5. It's probably in the directions. I don't recall seeing exactly that, but our batting is 5 by 5. I would go for about 5 by 5 on your white fabric, and then you put down your green fabrics and trim around them, and it's kind of more like an applique than a piecing project, but it's a little bit of both. So, and then they have the quilting, which is really cool because the quilting does not go over that center. The center part on pinwheel blocks is pretty hard. You like worry that it's going to pull the entire project out of the hoop because it's landing in that very busy spot. And so it has the quilting, and it just goes over on the sides, but it only does it on the white blocks, which I was like, you could do it on all of them. I don't know why it's not. And so I adjusted mine a lot. I made a lot of changes to mine. So I'm going to show you it. Keep in mind, this is like a newer version of a pinwheel block. So this one, so notice, first off, it's perfect, right? Perfect lined up, but it also has a satin stitch that is hiding parts. So that hiding parts is because you are trimming those green parts, and so there's like, I tried to make it, when I was adjusting it, I used Embellishment Essentials, and I did a lot of stuff to adjust it. And I thought I could make it into a full piecing project. And I did on all of them except the last block. There's still where you trim the green part. And so you kind of need that satin stitch. I thought maybe we could do it without that satin stitch cross in the center. And it didn't work the way that I tried it. And I don't know anything about digitizing. I was way out of my element, but if you trim super, super, super close, no one's going to see it. Nobody would have seen mine. In fact, I'll add a photo of what the ending looked like before I did the cross on it, or the satin stitching, I should say. So this is a different pinwheel, right? Our usual pinwheel blocks do not have satin stitching on it. And so it's something very different, but it was fun to do. It was good in that you're not sitting there. I always, when I stitch mine together, if the cross center part isn't exactly right, I'll go back and do it better. And we get in our head on these pinwheel blocks, or at least I do, and I've heard a lot in our group that a lot of people do. So this is another option, total option. All right, so you can do the Kimberbell one, the traditional, and like I said, I included a link to tutorials on how to do that, or you can try something new. So this one, it's from Sweet Pea. It's on sale right now. It was $2.10 for the design. And like I said, it comes with directions on their traditional way, or their new way, where they quilt this part. I don't know if you can see that. So see this quilting there? It's only on the white blocks. Well, I did it on all of them. So I adjusted the file a lot. So a lot of changes to the file, and I think it looks really good. I'm really pretty happy about it. So here's the deal. If you want to do the traditional method, Kimberbell, go for it. If you want to do the Sweet Pea new one, go for that. Follow those directions. They're very simple. Or if you want to try the adjusted one that I did, I can't sell it to you because I added on to the Sweet Pea design. So I cannot give you this design. I can't sell you this design. But if you send me an email showing me that you purchased the Sweet Pea design and you want to do this one that's got the quilting on all of them, then I will send it to you if you show me that you purchased it from Sweet Pea. So you have to send me an email. I'm not going to put my email out on YouTube, so you have to be in our Facebook group on Cristin Creates and send me a private message. And again, I need a screenshot showing me that you purchased the design from Sweet Pea, because I'm not gonna, that's breaking the law. It's not fully my design. I added to it. That's all I did. All right, so that's that. The other thing is, maybe I can show a little, I don't know. I was thinking, well, maybe I can show you how I did it in Embellishments, because really just adding the quilting part, that wasn't too bad. That was a pretty easy thing. I just flipped it and moved it, and you could try that around on Embellishments and try that. I did a lot of changes because I wanted to make it a fully piecing project. So mine's a little bit different. But anyway, you have lots of options today. I'm excited to see what you decide, and any of them are great. Pinwheel blocks are so beautiful. So however you want to do it is great. And I look forward to seeing them. Get at least one done for now for our blocks that we're working on now. You can do both of them and then you're ahead of the game, or you can save one and do it later. Either way, but I'm not going to tell you when to do it later. So I will say when it's needed. So you'll have to catch up at that point, because I will have already had it. I did one as a test because I needed to test that Sweet Pea one, and I think it came out so cool. I think it's pretty fun. I'm very happy with it. So I'm going to do one more, and I'll go through that step by step. But again, the photos that I'm going to include will be step by step of the revision that I did. So however you want to do it. And that Sweet Pea one has directions, and it's super easy. Don't worry about it. So you have lots of options. We're just going to work on the pinwheel blocks, 2 of them. Don't forget to share photos in the Cristin Creates group when you have it done. And don't forget to subscribe. I have to remind you to subscribe. I get a lot of people asking me when the next video is posted, and you'll always know if you're subscribed and you click that little bell, it'll give you a little notification. Mine even rings on my watch now. It's pretty cool. Oh, I have to show you this. Can you see? I've got a pinwheel. I have a pinwheel on my watch today. It goes away quick, but for today, because we're working on the pinwheel blocks. Isn't that fun? Kind of silly. All right, let's get started. One quick thing I forgot to tell you. So your quilting design, if you're going to do the traditional method or any quilting design that is 4x4, I mentioned that winter 2, you want a 4x4 quilting design either way. And if you decide to buy that Sweet Pea pinwheel block, it comes with the 4x4, 5x5, and 6x6. You're going to want to do the 4x4 design. All right. on my shirt today. I'm wearing an embroidered shirt. It's a very simple design. This is from Designs by Juju. It's got a sewing machine and there's no applique pieces or anything. It's a really simple design, and I added in the wording that says sewing makes me happy. I will add a link underneath this video of where you can find the design. The shirt is from Amazon. It's one of my favorites and it comes in so many fun colors. I really love this one. I will add a link here to my Amazon shop. You can find the shirts there. How are you doing with your goal? I love hearing about your goals, so make sure to comment on this YouTube video and tell me how you're doing with your goal. Remind me what your goal is and how it's going. So mine, I'm going to pick out a couple of words here and there of mental health things that help us to be at our best selves. So today is about anxiety. So anxiety, all of us have a little bit of anxiety. Some of us have a lot of anxiety, and I have it in like a certain situation when I'm going to be around one specific person that is difficult. I get pretty anxious about it, but at that point I have to just release and know that I can't control that other person. I can't control what's going to happen. So one thing that I found very helpful is I found this little saying, and it says, when you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. I think that's really good. I really like that. And that's very helpful for my specific situation. So my granddaughter gets anxiety. She doesn't like, a lot of us don't like getting up and talking in front of people. In fact, when I do these videos, I get pretty anxious. I have a hard time even just doing these videos because you're putting yourself out there and it's difficult. But the thing that gets me, the thing that always helps me in that situation where I don't want to speak in front of people, I don't like things to be all about me, stuff like that. The thing that helps me is to redirect it and know that I am being of service. That is what helps me absolutely, when I know that it's not all about me and some may judge me and whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm being of service. I'm helping other people. So that's what helps me. So a specific situation. We were at a Scouts event with my granddaughter and several of my kids were in scouting. And my granddaughter needed to get up and be recognized for her award. I think it was the Bronze Girl Scout Award. And it was a really big deal. And she got up, and after she did what she had to do, she flopped in her chair and she just was pretty negative about it. And I don't know, it was difficult to see. It was difficult to watch what was happening. And my son-in-law said, oh, that's just her anxiety. And so, and I understand it. Boy, when I get up in front of people and speak, it's hard. I don't like it at all. But so what I talked to her about, and I said, so what I do when I'm in a situation like that is I think of the other people, not myself. Because if you focus on yourself, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, all these people are looking at me and they're judging me and whatever. And none of that matters. So it's better for me. This is what I have found that works. And this is what I brought to my granddaughter is I said, think about all these moms that made all this food, that set up this room for you, that did all of these things, and your parents that helped you work on the projects and get you to the locations, to the meetings, and to do all of these things. Think about them. Think about other people. When you're thinking about other people, you're getting out of yourself, and it's not so inner focused. It's so much easier and freeing to know that, you know, these people are supporting you. These people want you to succeed. These people are helping you to succeed. And so that's what I find helpful is if I get out of my own way, get out of my head, and know that either you're being of service for others or other people are helping you and doing everything in their power to help you to be successful. And that means a lot. It's so important. So that's my way of getting out of anxiety. And again, knowing where your power is and how you react to various things. You know, it's not stuffing down your feelings, but it is getting outside of yourself and thinking of others. So that's my little tip for today on anxiety.